there.
Let me get properties. It's all black right now because I'm still.
Get that out of the way. Move this
Fit
down.
to screen. All right, how about now?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Expand video. No.
I hear people. Love
I
hearing
hear
it.
people.
That's
I
good.
hear people. I
I
hear.
looked at it was like 30 minutes of the last time doing a podcast, and somebody was like, BT dubs, I can't hear the other person. And I was like, crap.
Oh.
So there's such great clips that I've gotten from that, but unfortunately I had to dissect it so that I could cut it out where we
my
have
God.
blank spots, and I'm like, crap.
Oh my God.
Why can't you work every single time?
Right,
That'd be great.
right. Okay, tech
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
Tech
I
issues
will
are the
say-
fucking worst.
It's not a stream
Streamlabs
if they're
has been easier to use than OBS. Go figure.
Really?
it's not a real
Yeah.
stream if there's not tech issues every time.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
very, very true.
We're live.
Nice. Okay. Man, I don't think I'll be able to do live on Facebook if it's not going. Actually, no,
Uh-oh.
I can. I still can. Never mind. Let me pull
You
up
can?
my
Okay.
tablet here so I can.
We got time.
Yep.
I just gotta pull up my tablet real quick and pull up the live so that I can chat.
You're good. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for checking in and helping out with audio.
Come on. Come on.
But yeah, while we're kind of waiting on that, yeah, I had surgery this Tuesday, because I had recently been diagnosed with PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoria disorder, and they had a worry about cysts in my tubes, basically. So we went and had surgery, and she went to go inspect it. The scariest thing that we got the very next day is the fact that I had 18 cysts
Holy
in
crap.
both of my tubes combined. So she took out one of my tubes, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, 18.
Wow.
And they were like, it's a very good thing you did not try to have children because this would have killed you. Because I would have ended up having an atopic pregnancy. So that was very scary.
That's
I'm
terrifying.
sorry
I
to
was
hear.
like, okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, but thankfully, they got that taken care of. But I now have to be watched from now on. So,
Damn.
yeah.
That
If you
sucks.
don't know what PMDD is, I would definitely tell you, please check that out. I can't say it only happens in women, but it mostly only happens in women because it revolves around our cycle. And the problem is it releases too much hormones the week or after the week of our cycle, basically. And during that time, we have really bad dips. So we get really depressed. Something else happens. We just can't maintain a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm being treated for that, which I'm really super happy about, because that basically changed my entire outlook on a whole bunch of things and helped me right everything inside me. And then of course we have this emergency surgery basically to check everything out, and that's what we found. So this is me telling you, get yourself checked out. If your body is telling you a whole bunch of stuff, please go to the doctor.
Right.
Definitely.
Before it's too
I'm
late.
glad.
Yes.
You don't want to wait.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that.
Yeah.
I mean, taken care of to the
Yeah,
extent
Reals,
same.
it can be,
reals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not ready for that, but hey, it got taken care of, and I have one less scary thing to deal with.
That's good. That's
One
very,
less,
very good.
exactly.
Yes,
Yep.
Because I mean, the
but
last thing
yeah,
you want is like some complications, and then it can't be taken care of later on. You know, that would be
oh
the
yeah,
worst thing right there.
yeah,
Have
and
like a
cysts also really hurt because what a lot of people don't know is that cysts can enlarge and then pop during your cycle, and
yeah,
that
Oh,
hurts
oh.
so
yeah.
much.
I believe my brother had one on his tailbone, and he got that removed. That he said that when they were operating on it, it exploded on him. I
Ooh.
Which
think.
can happen.
Yeah, so I was like,
Hmm.
damn, that's actually good that he got that removed. I think that was
Yep.
like, I think he was 17, 16.
Okay.
Yeah, he was
Well, he
still
needs to
pretty
keep an
young.
eye on that because it can come back as a heads up.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, he's 35 now. I mean, he's got health insurance. He can get checked
Mhm.
out whenever. But yeah, I
Great.
totally like, I agree with that. That's something you don't want to be left untreated or checked. Like that's
Mhm.
the worst thing you could do is ignore it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Uh, we're actually good now. We can start.
Cool.
So everyone,
Good.
welcome back to another episode of Circuit Chats Warriors. If this is your first time tuning in, this podcast revolves around stroke survivors who stream and game like myself. Today we got Wisdom of Centuries, my co-host, and we also got Avec, our past guest from the second episode, coming back to do another episode with us. Um, Today we're gonna be talking about different things. Like the first episode, we talked about our stroke. Today we're gonna be talking more of like the things we do on the daily, like what changed from our typical like daily life from before to now. Like
Yeah.
what stuff we do for like leisure, like
Hmm.
there's all kinds of different topics.
Yeah.
So if at any time if at any time you guys feel like asking a question, feel free on either Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. Feel free to ask. Okay, so let's actually post something real quick.
Yeah,
So,
thanks again
okay.
for doing this.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
man. Like I love it when, like those who spoke before and wanted to come back. Like that's awesome, man, because there's more that has to be told, like I know every
Hmm.
episode we don't have enough time to talk about everything, so coming back is always an option.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
yeah. So today, actually, let me start off with this topic: traveling. Like we were all good when we traveled before. Like we could drive, take the train, take the plane, take a boat, whatever, and we'll be fine when we arrive to our destination. Nowadays, as a stroke survivor, there are some things that has to be monitored, like someone who has very bad nausea in the car ride, especially after stroke. Um, like, do you have what you need when you're going to where you're going? Like, do you have like a wheelchair? Do you have your equipment that you need for yourself to make sure that you're good? Stuff like this. Like, this is like I was thinking about it to myself, like, let's dive deeper into our lives, like separate lives, like what we do like on the daily. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
we're traveling. How do you guys feel about traveling right now as a stroke survivor?
I'll let Avec go first.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Um, Traveling hasn't changed a whole lot for me. Just in the sense that, I gained so much more back that I don't I have full use of my arm and of my leg, and the only thing I really have left over is numbness on my face and some like
Okay.
brain mental health stuff. Um, but traveling, I guess this we could get into later, but when you talk about the things that changed, like from before my stroke to who I am now, one of the big things is that I don't really I don't really get joy or excitement out of things like I used to. So when you talk about traveling, usually it's a vacation or you go to see family and stuff, and now it's not so much that I have a physical like disability or a physical thing like hang up. Um, but I do have like a mental one where I'm just like, oh, whatever. Like I used to want to travel all the time. I used to be very much an extrovert. I used to very much just love doing things and going places and the excitement of life, and then something changed, like when I had my stroke, it just kind of like it almost like it dimmed the candle just to where there's just a little bit left, and I'm like struggling to get that fire back, so for me travel is just more than anything it's a mental hang up of just like, oh god, I got to do this and I got to do this, and I just want to go home and be in my own bed now. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Totally,
Um,
man.
so that's what changed for me. Um, yeah,
Okay, so it's more of a mental thing for you then.
yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Um, so when you travel, like I can't speak for everyone, but when you're traveling, do you feel like you ever get like motion sickness at all when you're in a car, a plane, train, whichever mode of transportation you're taking? Do you ever feel like you get nauseous or no?
I do get nauseous more than I used to. I am more sensitive, and driving, I find that if I try to close my eyes and like take a little nap or whatever, that's when I get the most kind of car sick.
Hmm?
Is just when my eyes are closed. If my eyes are open and I can kind of see what's going on, then it's like my body and brain are in sync, and I can be okay. Um, but oddly enough, the one I learned this the very hard way, that I can't do things the way I used to. Um, so this isn't about traveling, but it is about that whole like being sick to your stomach and not feeling good. So
Yeah.
we have an amusement park close to our house, and me and my one of my best friends and my son and his son all went there. And I used to be a big roller coaster fan. I'm talking like the fastest, the scariest. Like I loved it all. And my son doesn't really like roller coasters, so we never really go on them. So since my stroke, I'd never really been on one, and it'd been 3 or 4 years. And my buddy's son wanted to go on one, and my friend was like, "I'm not going on it. You go on it with him." And I was like, oh, "Okay," because I hadn't been on one in years.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got off of that thing, and it was like I couldn't walk. I couldn't feel my legs. I was sick to my stomach.
Ooh,
It was jarring just because of how uncomfortable I was. I mean, it took me a good 5 minutes just to feel normal again, and
damn.
I didn't know that that was something that could change like that.
Yeah.
But there's something about I guess the pressure in my brain, or just the I don't really know what changed, but I can't do roller coasters anymore, because I got sick. I mean, I'm talking
Yeah.
I couldn't function for a solid 5 minutes or so. You know?
And that makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense. I think I can fill in on that. The
Hmm.
reason why you felt sick on a roller coaster. So so for example, when you're in the car, you're driving, you have the windshield blocking you from all the wind, right?
Yeah.
With the roller coaster, there's no windshield in front of you, so all of the air is you're taking all the air, so you have
Hmm.
nowhere else to go because you're going really fast.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, like all of that air going into your nose, your mouth, like all of that, like I feel like that has something to do big time with feeling nauseous after roller coaster ride. Like that's how I see
Hmm.
it, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
There's also a secondary one. The inner ear, there's a crystal in the inner ear. If there's any kind of like damage to it, this can happen with a car wreck, head injury, including anything with the trauma of the head, that can also be a cause of it. And also depends on like where the blood clot happened in the brain too.
Yeah.
So there's many different reasons for it. But 100%, yeah, like if you're doing roller coasters and you can't handle like that kind of motion, that's usually due to a brain injury for sure.
Yeah.
And it does kind of take the wind out of your sails whenever that happens, because I'm a huge roller coaster fan as well, but I have to take them very slowly because I get migraines now. So I have to look at the roller coaster and go, can I do this? Is this gonna be okay? So I have to have like my rescue medication with me when I go to a park, because it can ignite a migraine immediately, and I have to be so careful.
Okay. Yeah, it was very eye opening.
Yeah,
It's to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm not doing roller coasters anymore. Like I'll do like the kid ones, you know what I mean, like the slow and
Yeah.
steady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do the crazy ones anymore because I can't. Because it was
Yeah.
the most uncomfortable I think I had been since my stroke. I mean,
Yeah.
just as far as being uncomfortable and just my body not feeling right, it was very jarring. So,
Yeah.
So all that said, yes, I do get motion sick now, not like more than I used to.
Yeah.
Damn. It sucks. It's a horrible thing, especially when you've never really had it before. And now you're having it. You know, it's just like, fuck, man, I don't
Yeah.
want to do this shit anymore.
I know.
Right.
Yep.
To continue what you're talking about, Vec. Wisdom, I was telling you I have a story about all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so this was a day after I was released from the hospital, right? I
Yeah.
had my brother, my sister, my goddaughter help me pack all of my stuff to get ready to move back to California.
Mhm.
The day we left, we before we left Vegas, we ate a little bit, right? Because I had to have food in my stomach so I could take my medication.
Right.
I think it was about a 10-hour drive from Vegas to California, where I'm at least.
Mhm.
The car ride was very, 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 very bad for me. Like, especially
Yeah.
for that long, like 10 hours without really stopping over except for bathroom and stuff. Like, the ride for me, like all the bumps, the swerves, going up the mountain, going down the mountain, like all of that,
Yeah.
like it really came down to my brain, like not lacking at all. Like my whole body just felt out of whack, like telling me something is wrong. Something's definitely wrong. I could feel I felt like my stomach turned over and over and
Yeah.
over, like in place. And I'm just like, I feel so fucking sick right now. So I think it was maybe about halfway through the trip, we get to this truck stop so we can refill and use the bathroom, get snacks, wherever, right? By the time because my brother was driving at the time, my sister, when she exited off the freeway, like that's when my whole body started to like regurgitate. Like I started to feel it coming out. By the time we pulled into the truck stop, it came out. Like I didn't even make it out of the car. Like I literally vomited in the car. But
Yeah.
what's funny about that though? Like you would think because I'm sitting right next to the door, I would roll the window down and put my head out, right?
Nobody thinks of that at the time, though.
And exactly, so I did. I covered my mouth like this. So all the vomit, all the
It's splattered.
all everyone in the car, man. Like I went onto the roof, I went onto the front seats, onto my sister, my goddaughter especially, man. My goddaughter got the brunt of it. I felt so bad.
No.
Brutal.
It's
so bad.
Dude,
Sorry that happened. Ugh.
the whole ride back, It was so bad, dude. It smelled like vomit, so we had to roll drive the whole time with the window down. All
Yeah.
my clothes, my shirt,
Yeah.
my
Yeah, that
shorts,
sucks.
everything was
Oh,
covered in vomit. So I had to get
that
out of the car.
sucks.
Yeah, it was cold
Yeah.
too. It was like I think it was like maybe like 50 some degrees at night. And now I'm
Yeah.
stepping out, taking off my clothes, fucking hella shivering, putting clothes on, and yeah, like my sister was trying to clean up the car as best as she can.
Yeah.
And they looked at me like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I don't know, man, but I've never had car sickness like that ever. Like that
What?
turning in your stomach. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it was such a bad experience for me. Like nowadays, like the nausea is not so bad because like I smoke a lot of weed, and the weed kind of
Yeah.
helps me balance out my brain while we're moving. But even
Right.
so, I still get nauseous sometimes, even when I'm high. So, what my brother told me to do, like, is move all the way back, lean forward, head down, close your eyes.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Yeah.
like, that shit works. Like, the
They
nausea
also
goes
have
away.
they also have those patches to put behind your ear for like seasickness, but it
Yeah,
also
yeah,
helps for the car
yeah.
rides.
I've heard about
Yeah.
that. I was starting to look into that, but I never got it because I just kind of did what my brother told me to do, just put my head
Right.
down and just breathe and um just be as complicit as you can be, like, just
Well,
be.
second of all, too, like if you know it's going to be a problem in the car, like why not have like some bags
Yeah,
as well,
yeah. So
just to make sure you have it.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
after that
Yep.
whole incident, we carried bags in the car just in case. 'Cause, oh my god, like I would never ever ever want to go through that experience again. Like that was the worst right there.
Right.
Like I felt bad for everyone in the car. Like my sister, my brother, my goddaughter, they had to drive back smelling my throw up. Like I think we had Chipotle before we left.
Oh
no.
no!
That's brutal.
Dude, it was, man, it was the worst. It
Oh,
was
Yeah,
the
I wouldn't
worst
doubt
fucking.
it.
Yeah,
That
like,
stuff coming back up is not tasty.
yeah, it was so bad. Like,
He says spicy barf as well.
yep, for real. It's like, dude,
Ouch.
not
Yeah.
only that, like, after I was done, like, my sister told me, like, do you realize you threw up literally everything you ate? Like, such
Yeah.
rice, chicken, beans, corn, like, fuck.
No, ow, man.
Oh my
No.
god, it was such a bad experience for me. I was like, never again, man,
Yeah.
never again.
Yeah.
But yeah, since then, I
Yeah.
think I've only thrown up once, but I was able to get to the window, putting my head out.
Yeah.
After that, no more.
Yeah.
How about you?
It's also why they tell you, like, because they say this of like if you're gonna go play or something like that or go swimming, they always tell you like eat and then wait 20 minutes. That's just basically to make sure that you digest mostly everything before you start getting active, because with that much in your stomach, you are 100% going to upchuck that a little
Yep.
bit later.
Yeah,
So,
I believe it's the same thing with swimming too. Like after
yes.
you eat, you have to wait at
Mhm.
least like an hour, I think, something like that.
The rule of thumb is 20 minutes. So give it at least 20 minutes, but if you can give it up to an hour, that's going to be better for you.
Yep. Like I never again.
Yeah.
But what
No, I get
about you,
that.
Vic? What about you? How about you? Do you get motion sickness in the car or whenever you travel?
I think
Not-
the only reason that helped me is the fact that me being in Denver when everything happened, when I had my stroke, I was very high elevation. So me coming back home lower to different elevation, that actually helped me not get super like sick when it comes to a whole bunch of stuff. But one of the biggest things for me for traveling though is I get a lot of pressure in my ears. That's mainly because I had surgery on both of my ears when I was like 8 years old. But if you ever run into an issue and you're like, hey, like this is really bad, I'm ascending or I'm descending, and you feel a lot of pressure,
Mhm.
you can ask the attendants on the flight for two cups. And if you put them over your ears, it actually stabilizes the pressure for your head. So it helps you not have those kind of issues. So sometimes I have to do that, or I'll be wearing these headphones, which actually are noise canceling, and that helps with the pressure as well. So that like holds in basically, and I don't have that issue. So I always wear these when I'm traveling, because it helps with the pressure of going in the planes and stuff. Because I travel often for work, so I have to usually have to prepare to go onto a plane or something like that. But it's not. I don't get the motion sickness, which I'm thankful for, but I get the head pressure and the migraines that I have to
Oh,
usually
okay,
be
okay.
prepared for. And roller coasters, it depends on the roller coaster. The roller coaster that did me in Florida was the Velocicoaster that did me in completely because it holds you upside down for like a good stint. And
Oh,
unfortunately that hurt my head really bad. So
oh
after I
yeah.
got off, I was unsteady, could not walk, had to sit down for a good 20, 30 minutes, and then had to be careful of my migraine, which popped that day. So I had to take my medicine for that, and that sucked really bad.
I bet. Like, I could totally imagine why that would happen to you because of all the blood rushing to your brain all at once and then coming back down. Like, I can totally understand that for sure. Like, that's what I remember my grandma always told me, never keep your head like up, never be upside down for too long because all the pressure will go to your head. And when you come back
Yep.
down, you will feel lightheaded for damn sure. And
Lightheaded and dizzy. So,
yep,
yeah.
yep, that's the same thing as like when you're squatting down, you get up really quick. Same thing,
Mhm.
same thing. Like
Mhm.
it's it's like I don't know if it's is it physics? No, it can't be physics, is it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
But I
don't
could
think
be
so either.
wrong. But I know whenever you're doing physics, there's two different things that can happen with your legs because you have so many arteries going within your legs. If you stand at attention and you lock your knees, you can pass out within 15, 20 minutes. Don't lock your knees. This is usually what happens to a lot of men at weddings is they're standing at the altar and they lock their knees and then they pass out within 15 minutes. And I'm like, well, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
So don't lock your knees. That's going to be a big one. And then the second one is, yeah, like if you're squatting a whole bunch, you're using a lot of muscle within your legs. And I think a lot of also like your blood is rushing through you because you're basically exercising whenever you're squatting. So when you stand back up after like a minute of squatting, you have to give yourself like a minute or two before you start walking. Because if you don't, like your legs are literally going to go out from underneath you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a tough one. But
Big
yeah,
time.
squats are not my favorite, but I do them.
I know, right? Squ- Squats, man. I tell you, like I remember doing squats before. I think the
Yeah,
heaviest I was able to squat was like 245, I think.
yeah.
I remember, I think after like doing five, like I felt straight lightheaded. It's like, okay, I have to re-rack this. That away from it, chill.
So the one really good exercise, if you guys want to do like a squat but you're not ready for it, it's called a wall planking squat. So if you lean up against the wall and you squat down and you stay that way for a minute, it actually does the same amount of work on you as lifting weights. It is intense.
Yep. Wall sits are the best too. I'm actually I'm trying to work my way up to that, but with me, my brace it gets caught under my knee, so it kind of restricts me from
Yeah,
bending all the way. So I'm trying to work
yeah,
on it. I'm trying to work on it. Um,
yeah.
what else did I have? Okay, so next up, leisure. as a stroke
Mhm.
survivor, or I don't know, before all of this, we used to go out, have fun, do whatever we wanted, like visit places, uh, go do like laser tag, whatever.
Yeah.
Nowadays, as a stroke survivor, what do you do for leisure? Avec, go ahead, sir, bro.
Okay. One of the kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier,
Hmm?
since I don't really feel like excitement or joy towards a lot of stuff, and mind you, I found out after my stroke that I have ADHD, so like a lot of my life kind of makes sense now. um,
Yeah.
but that
Same.
said, before, um, I was able to at least get excited about stuff, and then
Mhm.
and as far as like leisure stuff, I mean, what I mainly do is game with my kiddo, my son, Sonny. You
Yeah.
guys have chatted with him, I think.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um, he and I game a lot. I'll stream sometimes, and even streaming, it's something that I know I love, that I enjoy. I've spent a lot of time and money and part of my work history in live stream technology and just understanding this stuff inside and out. So it's streaming isn't just streaming video games for me. It's actually been a part of like my career.
Mhm.
And it's something that I've always been really excited for. And even streaming, I mean, you guys know I came and I played Repo once or twice, and then I messaged was like, "Sorry guys, I'm in a funk. Like, I can't really, I can't really hop on right now." And I haven't
Yeah.
even really been streaming. So leisure. All I really do is lay around and try to get motivation.
Yeah.
I feel
You know what
that,
I mean?
man.
Like
Yeah.
that's
Hell
really
yeah.
it. Or I'll sit here in my office and I'll watch Twitch and I'll watch everyone. Um, but I more than anything I just hang out with my son and hang out with my wife and try to have as good an experience as I can, kind of
Yeah.
Mhm.
with the limitations that I have now. And
Yep.
I don't know. I've been working with a psychiatrist for years, trying to figure out a good medication kind of regimen to like help me with this because
Yeah.
you know before I've been on antidepressants since I was like in my early 20s, so it's been decades for me. And I'm a big fan of therapy and a big fan of medication and stuff, just because all of us need a little help. So that's my little thing. Like, I don't think anyone's too cool for therapy. No, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone
Definitely.
everyone needs help at some point. Um, but since my stroke, um, we've it's like throwing darts at a dartboard and hitting nothing, hitting the wall.
Yeah.
We're not even hitting
Yep.
the
Yep.
dartboard, we're hitting the wall
Yep.
over and
Yep.
over, and it's I switched to a new psychiatrist probably 2 or 3 years ago, and this
Mhm.
whole time we've been trying to find something that helps, and nothing's really helping. He's like, "Hey, do you feel any better?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. Like, I don't. I'm still not excited about anything. I have zero motivation. I have,
Yeah.
um, I'm not really like pumped about anything. I just am kind of existing. It's just like I'm just existing. I'm not really thriving." And every
Yeah.
single time, he's like, "Okay, well, let's try this. Let's try this." And now it's to the point where he's like, "You know what? Like, I wasn't ever officially diagnosed with ADHD, but he basically was like, "Yeah, you have ADHD. Let's actually start with that." So we're starting to like go more into the ADHD realm and see if we can kind of start the process of getting medication to help me kind of at the core of what I guess of what makes me who I am now that I
Hmm.
understand what
Mhm.
ADHD is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so we've been trying to stay away from stimulants just because I have high blood pressure and stuff, which I mean, as a stroke survivor, I think all of us kind of know that, that world of,
Yep.
blood pressure and just understanding your body more in that way. Um,
Yep.
but we're trying. I'm starting a new one next week. Again, this is probably the sixth medication I've tried in the last 2 years. And we
Yeah.
give it months to try to make sure that like that it settles and that all anything that's going to happen happens. That way I'm not just like every week like, okay, I need something new, so Sorry, I know I went off on a tangent.
No, no,
You're fine. No,
you're
it's
good.
okay.
You are good, bro. You are good, man.
But yeah, it's leisure wise, I don't do much, and that
Yeah.
makes me sad to say, but that's my reality right now, and it kind of has been since my stroke. Um,
Hmm.
and also, I'm still trying to figure out who I actually am now that I understand what masking is and what,
Yeah.
all these things in my life that I never really um could put like a word to. Like now I understand like what is what. Like so, I guess my leisure is I sit and do a lot of self reflection and try to figure out who I am and what I am, and
Yeah,
what I
Yeah.
want to be when I grow up.
yeah. Going that far back, huh?
Right. I know, man. I'm mid 40s and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
I mean,
I'm
I
right
get
there with
that.
you, bro. I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But I do for reals. I really hope things progress for you in a good way, man. I really hope that you're able to find that fire, that inspiration that gets you moving again, to get you to love all
Yeah.
the things you used to love before it's the stroke, man. Like, I understand where
Thank
you're
you.
coming from, Vivek. I
Mhm.
really do, man. I really, really do. I feel for
Thank
you,
you. I
bro.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank
yeah.
you. I appreciate you guys, and I've always been very appreciative of the group. The Second Chance Warriors, and just being invited to be a part of it. So I'm just grateful for all of you all.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. Hell yeah.
It is a really good group. Like the fact that like we're always talking and then somebody starts asking about a medication and we can give some advice.
Yeah,
We're like,
right.
yeah, we've done it.
Yeah.
We've done it before. Yeah, man. We tried that shit
Yeah,
before, man.
we've done it. It don't work. Yeah.
No, I feel that. I feel that one. Too. What about you, Wisdom?
Leisure, like there's a lot of stuff that I used to do because I used to live in Florida. So like I used to like go out to Disney and Universal. So my life completely drastically changed when I came out to Colorado for my work. But after I had my stroke, I've kind of learned that I don't like doing things alone. I usually like a person with me. And that's very hard to get out here because I'm just like, bro, I want to go do something. So what really helps is my partner will come out here sometimes because she lives in Las Vegas, but she'll come out
Oh,
here sometimes and we'll go plan something for the day. So we'll go out and do it. And what's nice is like our interests align with each other, so we immediately like want to go do like aquariums, museums, and that stuff. Mind you, we haven't done that yet, but the last Friday we had a date night and we went out to a really great restaurant in Denver, and then we went to go see Little Shop of Horrors. So that was a lot of fun.
ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, like doing leisure, I have to have somebody with me because I don't like going alone at all.
I totally feel that too. I totally feel that. But like over time, like I guess will that ever change over time, or that's just solid? That's it. You always gotta have somebody with you.
I think I prefer it with somebody to go with me just because I like enjoying it with people. The stroke kind of made me reassess a whole bunch of stuff about my life, and I like people having in my life. It's just I wasn't that outward of like reaching out to people, going like, "Hey, we should hang out. We should go do something." So now I'm kind of trying to do that with a whole bunch of my friends and stuff, and I'm like, "Listen, I want to go hang out. Let's go do something." Um, Simply because like doing it alone is fine, but having friends there with you or like family to do it with, it's so much better.
I agree with that. I totally agree with
Yeah.
that. Um,
Yeah.
for myself, I used to be a huge extrovert. Like I'm always out going places, hanging out with all my friends. Like before my stroke, me and my homie from high school, like my best friend from high school, like every weekend, I with my last job, I used to make pretty good tip money. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I will always bring home money. So whenever the weekend came by, I would hit my homie and be like, "Yo, bro, you want to hang out with me, bro? Like you,
Mm-hmm.
like it was always fun to do stuff with people." So I would hit him
Yeah.
up, like, "Yo, man, let's hang out, bro. We haven't hung out like homies in a long time, bro. Let's go. I'll pick you up." So I'll pick
Yeah.
him up. We'll go have dinner. We'll go gambling, just like a little gambling here and there. We'll hang out at his house, drink, smoke weed. We'll go to other homies and hang out with them. We'll go to
Mm-hmm.
different places. Like I wanted to go to Magic Mountain. Oh, is it Magic Mountain? I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but it's that one spot in Vegas where it has like different colored stones. I've always wanted to go there,
In
but
Vegas?
yeah, this is that one. It's like out in the desert somewhere. I forgot what it's called, but I wanted to go out there. I never got to. So yeah, every time we just hung out, we just did all stuff together. Like we'll go, like I said, restaurant. We'll go shopping. Go gambling. We'll go to spots we've never been to before. Things
Yeah.
like that. After
By the
my
way, you
show,
were correct. It's called the Seven Magic Mountains.
Evan Majima, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
You
what it's
were
called.
you were right there.
I just forgot the number 7.
You're good. No, you're good.
But yeah, so yeah, like I said, I was always very active. Like I'm always out there wanting to do stuff. After my stroke, though, all that changed. Like
Yeah.
my wanting to go out, my like I don't go nowhere, and I don't really go anywhere. The only time I leave home is when I go to the grocery store, when I go to appointments, seeing family, or
Yeah.
taking the dog to the park. That's really it. That's the only time I really leave the apartment.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just home. But I
Do
do
you
keep my
do you have to go with somebody or do you go alone?
so whenever I leave the apartment, I always go with my brother because he has a car. So like,
Okay.
but if I'm by myself, I just stay here at home. I'm either on my computer playing a game, streaming, or cooking something, or hanging out with Nacho, watching a movie or something.
Right.
But lately, dude, like lately, I've actually picked up reading a book, and
Okay.
that is something I have not done since high school. And mind you,
Yeah.
high school for me was back in from 98 to 2002. That's the last time I really picked up a book and read it. Nowadays, like
Yeah.
I think maybe for the past like 5 or 6 days, I've been reading a book, and not gonna lie, like it feels really good to read something because like for myself, I love to keep my mind stimulated at all times.
Yeah.
I told myself I can get the stimulation from games, from gaming and streaming because I'm talking with people while I'm playing something
Mhm.
hard or whatever. Or I'm in the kitchen cooking something while I'm talking to you guys, or whatnot.
Right.
Nowadays, that's all I do. Is just I'm at home most of the time. I'm just home
Yeah.
doing my own thing. And another thing too, like especially when it comes to like doing like family gatherings, parties, and stuff like that. For
Mhm.
me, and I don't know about you guys, but actually no, but Vec, for sure you. I need to make sure that my social battery is fully charged.
Oh,
And
for
I mean,
family gatherings? Yeah.
yeah, like
Oh yeah.
any kind of party, like any kind of party, doesn't matter with family or whatever. Like my social battery has to be completely full. Otherwise, I'm not gonna have fun at all.
Right.
Yep.
Like I remember last year, I went to my cousin's 18th birthday party. This was at
Mhm.
a this was at a big hotel, and when I got there, oh my god, just the sight of seeing so many people in one area, like I closed up right away. I was like, I need to
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here right now. Like I don't want to be around all these people. Like I don't want to be around all the noise. I don't want to be around any of that. So the moment I got there, I told myself, okay, let's assess this. There's a ton of people here. There's a lot of noise. I think I can only last maybe an hour at most, which is true. I only
Right.
lasted for about an hour, and when I felt like I reached my limit, I told my brother, "Yo, give me the keys, man. I gotta go to the car, bro. I can't be here no more." He's like, "Why? Why?
Right.
What the fuck's going on with you?" Like, bro, you already know, Marlon. Like, I cannot be around a lot of people right now. Like, my energy is not there. It's not the same anymore. Like, so
Well, also on
it-
top of that, after having a stroke, overstimulation is worse for us.
yes,
So-
big time, big time. So
Definitely.
yeah, so as I was going to the car, right, I see my cousin and his wife. They both looked at me. They're like, "Hey, are you okay? Where are you going? Where you going? Do you need help?" That's the one thing that really, really bothers the fuck out of me is that question. Do you need help? When it's been asked
Yeah.
once is okay, but constantly, like, from everybody, I hate that shit. Like, I hate it when people ask
Yeah.
me if I need help all the time. Like, no, dude, I don't. I got this. And
Yeah.
what makes it even worse is that they'll still try to help you. Like, they'll grab whatever you're holding just to make sure you're good. Like, no, I said I got it. I don't understand.
That's
It's like-
so that is because we live in an ableistic society.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
I
just
don't
like,
I'm kind of the same way. Like I don't mind it if somebody asks me if I need help, but if I told you no, the answer is no
exactly.
at that point.
Exactly.
And don't come over and take stuff out of my hands because that's gonna piss me
Exactly.
off. Same thing.
Yep.
So
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my god. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh,
What I appreciate the most, and this is where like I'm very thankful of it. My partner understands over the fact of like don't rush in and take over. I'm the same way with her. I don't rush in and take over, but I'll start providing solutions. So if you give me solutions, that's great. You're not taking over in that moment because like all of us, I know all of us, like don't do it. Don't put your hands on us. Don't start taking over. If we're in a wheelchair, don't start pushing us.
right, right,
Like
right.
there's even the whole thing. I love my mother, but there are moments in which like she encounters someone who's blind, and she tells them like, "Oh, go this way," but instead she reaches out and touches, and I'm like, "Stop touching!
Mhm.
Stop touching!
Right,
Like, don't
right,
do it. Just ask and tell them if you want to guide them. Don't touch."
right, right.
Yeah.
I just never understood that. Like, I understand that they know what I've been through, but they
Right.
don't know what's going on in my head, how I'm feeling at that particular moment. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exact stance and consent.
Yep.
Consent is important.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
Definitely.
like I'm just like, if you guys want to help me, that's fine. But if I say I got it,
Yeah.
like you said, Wisdom, don't fucking take, don't touch, let me be.
Yeah.
If I
Yep.
fuck up,
Yeah.
then come in. Then come
Yeah.
in and help me.
Yep.
Let me learn from my mistake. Let me do it on my own. And if I get it wrong, hey, help me out.
hmm
No, but
Yeah.
like, if you see me like not struggling, like I know I'm one-handed, I have to have my cane and whatever, right?
Yeah.
If you see me walking, I'm good. But if you see me like
Yeah.
kind of like losing my balance, yeah, come help me. But like
Yeah.
that part of
Me,
that,
like if I saw you going downstairs, I'd be like, "Bro, do you need help? Do you want somebody walking in front of you to make sure you're not gonna fall?" Because I would be terrified of that.
right,
So
right. That
but,
was
yeah.
exactly me too. That was me too, especially learning how to go down the stairs. I was so scared of that shit, but
yeah,
you know, like I'm just like, just leave me alone. Let me do my shit.
yeah.
If I need help, I
Yeah.
will call for you. You know,
Yeah.
like
I think
Yeah. Go ahead.
that is a big thing that a lot of people like struggle with in the ableistic side is the fact that like they see us and they want to help us immediately, which I completely get. I appreciate. I absolutely do.
hell yeah.
But there are some times in which I'm like, I want to prove to myself that I can do it. Please don't step in.
Mhm.
Because I mean, it's already bad enough that we had parts of our lives taken away and completely like all of that kind of taken away. 100% stop taking things away from us. is the
Mhm.
biggest thing.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. We're trying to teach ourselves to redo the things that we used to do by ourselves. Let us
Mhm.
figure it out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like,
Yeah.
go ahead, Beck. Were you saying something?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's interesting because even the people closest to us
Hmm.
can cross those lines without realizing it. You know,
Yeah.
like I know my wife and I had some pretty like tense moments just because she's a planner, so she plans things ahead. Like she wants everything planned out and stuff. And
Yeah.
I still to this day don't know what the hell I'm doing every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't plan. I can't. Um,
Hmm.
so that said, after my stroke, you know, she wanted to plan all this stuff out and have everything kind of like lined up and stuff. And then when I wouldn't do something that followed her plans, when I would kind of go astray, she would
Yeah.
like it would frustrate her, and she would be like, you know, you should do this, you should do this, and I had to tell her like, you have no idea what I'm going through.
Right.
You don't know what this feels like, and you have
Yep.
no right to tell me what to do.
Yep.
I'm doing this
Right.
myself, you know, and it's not, you know, everything she does is out of love, and I know that. So it wasn't an anger thing. It was just the fact that like I I know what I can and can't do or what I want to do or not do. You know, I'm not
Right.
going to go by your standards or by your expectations because I'm the one that has to make it through this and I'm the one that has
Yep.
to figure out what I am now and who I am now. You know, and that's not something that you can plan or something that you can dictate or something that you can, you know, kind of
Fix.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. And that's
I
just it.
don't
Like, yeah. Mhm.
on her side of it because I'm also a planner. Like I'm hugely a planner. But on that side of it, what I can see on both sides of you is the fact that
Mhm.
both of you were spiraling. She didn't know how to help, so she was
Yeah.
doing the one thing that she knew how to help, and
Yeah.
unfortunately that does hinder.
Yeah.
Um, and it happens so
It does,
much.
yeah. It does. And I mean, mind you, we're 5 years past my stroke now and things,
Yeah.
you know, now is learning about ADHD because she's like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
why you're the way you are. Okay, so it's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're this. It's
Yeah.
not that you're
Yeah,
this."
yeah, hell
So,
yeah.
you know, but that's just it. Is she is open-minded and she is very understanding and obviously like I said it's all out of love. So, you know,
Yeah.
she's doing the work that she needs to do. I'm doing the work that I need to do and we're a lot better now than we were even 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it's been a learning experience, but yeah, just even with the people that are closest to us, like they're the ones that we see every day and they're the ones that
Hmm.
see us every day and they're the ones that want to help. But like you're saying, sometimes we just need to do it ourselves and
Yep.
there's going to be a
Yeah.
little bit of pushback and then it's it's hard not to get resentful sometimes when you're just like I
Yeah.
just want to exist. Like just let me exist. Don't don't push, don't you know, just let me exist the way that I am right now and let me figure this out.
Exactly.
Right. Because sometimes it depends on the person, but I know I'm the type of person that like if I'm going through an emotion, I need to feel it for that
Mhm.
moment, and then I need to like release it and go on, kind of thing. And that was definitely me, and I had to learn that during the uh, rehabilitation process.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I literally had to sit in my feelings for a moment just to understand what I was feeling, and then I could move on. And that helped me a lot with the process of coming back from that. Is like, um, it. A lot of people will tell you this too, but like, you have to feel the feelings so you understand what's happening, and
Mhm.
you do have to understand what you're going through, and the only people who can do that is you. And
Mhm.
the other person is not going to feel it, and even then in those moments you're not going to know how to express it, and that's where you just need someone who's patient with you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
um because you're 100% going to go through a lot of shit
Yep.
with trying to
Yep.
rehabilitate, try to figure out your life back. You have to
Yep.
figure out like, what am I still good at? Like, what can I do? Like, how is my life changed? What am I still interested in?
Yeah.
Um, and that's going to happen for years to come. Um, my advice to you, Avec, would be, if anything, like if there's something that like you still get that spark, like cling to it,
Yeah.
and then try to basically try to do that. Not for a week, but like maybe once a week, try and do it and get back into it, because it is a process to relearn like what you're interested in.
Yeah.
I know my interests shifted slightly, but I'm still interested in the same things, but I have more hyperfixations towards stuff. So,
Okay.
like, one of my hyperfixations is going out and going to a lot of cons, because I love going to cons. The bad side is I get very overstimulated when I'm at them.
That's
So
so
I
true.
have to,
Yeah.
right?
Understandably.
I
Yeah.
have to figure that out, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. I will. And I'm still trying to figure out
Yeah.
and learn, but I appreciate that.
You will get it
That's
back.
going
I
to take
believe it,
time.
bro.
Don't push yourself too hard for it either.
Yeah, exactly. Just take it easy. Like, don't push yourself to the point where it's just like you don't want to do it anymore. Like, that's the worst thing you can
Right.
do. Giving up. That's the worst thing you can do, man. Like, that's
Yeah.
not what you want to do. You don't ever want to give up, man. Like, okay, so off topic, but I'm in these stroke survivor groups on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And as much as I love sharing the things that I do, like the foods that I cook, my progress, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
I love to share that because it gives other people hope that they could do the things that I'm doing. Like, but when I'm reading something like someone is so like depressed, over it, defeated, I'm
Yeah.
just like, damn, dude, that shit is just like, it affects my mindset. So I try to go in
Yeah.
and try to put my 2 cents in to make them feel better. And sometimes it
Yeah.
does. Sometimes they just shake it off and it's whatever. But like
Yeah.
when I read stuff like that, that affects my mood, and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
let's not read that no more. Let's try to change it. Try to change the tone, the feeling of the post. Let's
Yeah.
insert some positivity. Like, tell them, hey, we all know what you're going through because we've all been there ourselves. The best thing you can do is to never give up on yourself. Keep pushing. Like, there are some people who. So there's a video that I posted in this group of me getting up off the ground the way I do. People watched that, and there was actually one person who watched it and mimicked exactly what I did. And she was like, man, I am so happy you showed this, because if it wasn't for you, I would not be able to get back up off the ground the way you did. And seeing you do it gives me hope that I can do it. So she did the exact same thing and tagged me, and it said, because of you, Matthew, I'm so happy I can get off the ground now without holding on to anyone or holding on to anything. Because of you, I'm able to do this. And honestly, like, that's my whole like thing about posting the stuff I do. Like, I want to let people know that, hey, even though we lost a part of our body, this is still possible. You just have to figure out what works for you, and if it does, roll with it. Like, for me, like for all of us, actually, we all have to figure out stuff a different way. And once you figure it out, you will continue to do it. Like, for me, getting off the ground is easy now. Nowadays too, like, very recently, so before, when I moved back to California almost 2 years ago, there's a ramp that goes from the parking lot to the complex. I was never able to go down, ever. Going up was easy, but going down, scary as fuck, because it's steep. It was only until recently I figured out how to go down. Of course, it was slow. It was a slow descent, but I figured it out, and now I don't have to like wait outside for my brother to pick me up or walk all the way around to the parking lot. I can just go straight in there now. And that's the thing about us stroke survivors, that we don't give up. We try to find ways to make it work. And you
Yeah.
know, that just shows that we have a lot of perseverance. You know, like we want to persevere through all of this. Like we've been through such a traumatic experience. The worst thing we could do is just give up. Literally
Yeah.
give up. That's the worst
But
fucking
that's
thing we could do.
that's for everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
Just
Exactly.
giving up is like the worst thing that you can do.
Yeah, that's just like accepting defeat. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
accept defeat, man. Like, you were given a second chance, although you're not the same anymore. But the fact remains, you are still here.
Right.
Make the best of it. Like, do something about it. Like, don't just waste your chance because you can't do something anymore. No, figure it out. Figure that shit out, because that's the power of the brain. Like, our brain is this one of the, I don't know, is it our brain the strongest organ in our body
Yeah.
or no? It is, right?
It's the one that controls everything inside our body. So yes.
Of course.
Yeah, it is. I mean, a lot of people would tell you that it's some kind of other organ, but I would argue that it's the brain, because that's the one that's sending all the signals to everything else to actually work.
Yeah. So yeah, so like our brains are trying to, you know, adjust, adapt to everything else that we do. Like for myself, doing everything with two hands,
Yeah.
now having to do everything one-handed, like
Mm-hmm.
let's say for cooking, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
got both hands, you know, like I said, you're cutting something with your right or left, and you're holding the ingredient with your other hand.
Yeah.
Having to do that both with one hand was tough in the beginning, but I figured it
Mhm.
out. All I had to do was just adjust my cutting technique, how I hold the knife.
Mhm.
That's all I had to do. And I
Yeah.
keep telling, I tell a lot of these other stroke survivors who want to get back to cooking, I tell them, hey, take it easy. Just try to reposition how you hold the knife so that you can hold the ingredient with the knife and still cut through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tell them, hey, it may be hard in the beginning, but trust me, the more you do it, it's just like repetition. The more you do it, the more you understand, you will get it. And there's actually some people who take over my example. Like I've posted videos of how I cut my ingredients and everything before I cook, and they're like, "Oh wow, I should do that." So when they recreate what I do, or they mimic what I do, they're like, "Holy shit, this actually works." And for myself, like in the kitchen, I know there are items out there that we can use that assist people with one hand, but I think like the biggest one that a lot of people would want to use is like the chopping board with the spikes at the bottom to hold your stuff down. I don't
Which is
use
nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hella nice. It's very, very convenient. But for
Mhm.
me, I don't use that. I do everything with just one hand. Like I say, cutting a tomato. I'll cut the
Mhm.
top off, flip it over on the flat side, and cut. To just
Nice.
I just had to find different ways to cut my ingredients properly, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked, you know. And aside from just using a knife, I also use kitchen shears and an automatic can opener. Those are the only things I
Yeah.
use. And
Mhm.
a lot of people ask me like, what do I use in the kitchen when I cook? Like, do you use this? Do you use that? Do you use this? Do you use that? I said, no, I just use what I have. And they're like, how?
Yeah.
That's always the question I get is how. And I tell them, just adapt. Find different ways to do different things. It works. And people are just like, okay. They start to take over my examples, and they start learning. and that made me feel good because what works for me works for other people too, you know. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way with you guys. If you figured out something and it
Yeah.
works for you, like you share with someone else, like, hey, thank you for sharing. That actually worked. Like
Yeah.
that's just like you're literally just passing on your knowledge. That's all you're doing. And
Yeah.
you know, as a stroke survivor, like figuring all the stuff out, like all over again, it's just like,
Mhm.
damn, I can't believe this.
Yeah,
Like,
because you're relearning everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Like, Avec, was there
Mhm.
something before your stroke that you used to do, like with both hands, or like you used to do something like a certain way, and now after stroke, do you still do it the same way, or did you do it a different way?
Well, most everything I do the same way. Just because, again, I was lucky enough to gain feeling, and use of my arm and my leg again.
Yeah.
But I will admit, I've been thinking about this whole time while we've been talking. There's one thing that I used to do for um, leisure that was like a big part of my life, and that was riding a motorcycle. I used to ride
Oh.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked for Harley Davidson off and on for like 10 years, and I've
Mhm.
loved motorcycles, forever. And oddly enough, I have a Honda, not a Harley. But I have a bike that I haven't touched since my stroke, and part of it originally was the fear of something happening and me not having control of a side of my
Yeah.
body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
like this fear of something happening while I'm out riding. And usually I would go by myself because my wife doesn't care to ride, and obviously I'm not taking Sunny out on a motorcycle right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so if something were to happen, I'd be by myself, So there was this. I didn't change how I did it. I changed whether I did it. And it was because I had these, and I still have these kind of like what ifs in the back of my mind that are very powerful now because
Yeah.
it makes me worry like if something happens and I do have another stroke or something happens where I don't have control over my arm or like your both legs and both arms control that motorcycle. You have
Yeah.
to have all four appendages all
Yep.
in, unless you have a trike or they do make accessible motorcycles and stuff, so you don't have like there are motorcycles that people with disabilities can ride, but mine I don't have that. So I need
Yeah.
both arms and both legs,
Yep.
um, and that's something that I haven't had the I don't know if I'd say courage, but I haven't really had the I just haven't thought about getting on it again yet. But I did use that was a big part of my leisure when I was younger, and I've always really loved being out on the road and being on the motorcycle and just kind of like it's you and your helmet and there's nothing else. Obviously you can do your little like Bluetooth cell phone or headphones or whatever, but a lot of times it's just you and the wind, and
Yeah.
that's kind of freeing. I mean,
Oh
it's a
yeah.
it's a real therapeutic thing. Um, so that's something that I would like to get back into if I can get myself behind it again. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
I was thinking because okay, so with motorcycles, actually had an interest in motorcycles before, but because like I was scared of it, I never went through with it. But for you, Avec, I'm thinking, have
Hmm.
you? I mean, I'm not sure it's gonna be the same thing, but have you tried riding a bike, just a regular bike? Now,
Oh, just for balance
yeah, yeah,
for him?
exactly, yeah,
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 Okay.
yeah. I do, and I do. Riding a bike is something that I can do and that I do. So yes, I have done that.
okay,
Okay.
okay. The
Nice.
reason, yeah, the reason why I brought that up is because just like what Wisdom said, the balance factor, like
Hmm.
balancing
Mhm.
yourself on a motorcycle versus a bike is completely different because of the weight
Hmm.
difference. A bike is just a frame and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Motorcycle is
Hmm.
a lot of the moving parts like wheels, chain, motor,
And weight.
body. Yeah, the weight
Yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of figured like using a bicycle to help you regain your balance on two wheels will help move you back over to a motorcycle. I'm just
So
spitballing here. I'm just spitballing,
you're
but
Yeah.
good.
No, yeah,
Um,
absolutely, and that all makes sense, and it's being on a bike is less scary after my stroke than being on a motorcycle. You know what I mean? And
right.
I think that's been my hang up. I can balance on the bike okay, and I can ride a bike okay. More than anything, it's the fear of not having control of my right hand, which is the throttle,
Right.
right? Because I lost my
oh
right
yeah,
side.
yeah.
I lost my right side when I had my stroke. So it's the fear of not having control over that throttle and brake, right, on the right side,
Yeah.
or
That makes a lot of sense.
or the right side of my foot, which is the brake.
Yep.
So it's they're just, since there's a little more to it with a motorcycle,
Hmm.
it's just I've got this apprehension now, which I'm still trying to get over because I miss it. That is something I miss. I can
Yeah.
admit that.
I feel you,
Well,
bro.
I can definitely tell you on the balance side. So fun fact. I've grown up with spina bifida occulta, but I also had right-sided weakness with my right leg. And one of the things that I had to do to strengthen my leg and actually get the balance was use a scooter. You know, those Razor scooters.
Oh yeah,
I had to
yeah.
ride those when I was a kid, and that's what I used to strengthen up like my right side and actually get balance and everything. And by the
Nice.
age of 12, I was riding a bike on my own. I could not ride a
Oh,
bike until the
nice.
age of 12.
That's
Okay.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's
yeah, so
amazing.
that is a therapeutic thing that you can actually do too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like one thing I miss, really, really miss, is just driving. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys might feel the same way, but for me, like when I got a lot of stuff on my mind, like I just got to clear my mind somehow, and my space not
Yeah.
doing it, just to drive onto the road clears
Me
my
is
mind right
walking.
away.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And with me not driving right now, dude, that's one thing I miss because I'm
It gets
confined
you
in one
stuck in your
spot.
head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For the past like almost 2 years, like not driving for that long, like it bothers the hell out of me because like I really miss being in the car just with me, with my thoughts and the music and the road. I miss
Yeah.
doing that so much, and
You don't
I
have like a friend who could just show up and back you in the car and just drive?
sad to say, my friends, my friend list here at home has gotten progressively smaller. Like
Yeah, I get that.
I lost a lot of friends, and
Which sucks.
it
That sucks
does,
a
it
lot.
really
I'm
does.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. You're good. Like I do have a couple friends I can call, but of course they have their lives to deal with. Like they got work, have their own shit to
Yeah.
take care of. I don't want to bother them with my shit. No, although they know, although they know already. Like especially one of my homegirls. Like I've known her for over 10 years now. She always told
Hmm.
me. She always told me, hey, if you ever want to hang out, just call me. If I'm free, I'll come and get you. We'll hang out.
Yeah.
But as of late, like she's been so busy with work, I just don't want to bother her because she
You know, that's
has
a business that should get started. It's like, can you not drive? Do you want to drive? Let somebody else do it for you.
right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah, that's why I don't go nowhere. I just here at home most of the time. Like I said, the only time I
Yeah.
go out is for like groceries, appointments, family. That's the only time I really go out.
Yep.
But I know, I know that once I regain more of my body, I know for a damn fact I'm gonna get my license back and get back out on the road. That's for sure because
Nice.
that is the one thing that helped me keep balance of my mind. Like yeah,
Yeah.
that like you said, was walking.
Yeah.
Walking helps me too, but because like
It's not the same.
it's not the same because you're passing by a lot of like I walk outside like on the sidewalk. There's cars, people, like, and I have to be mindful because I'm walking with a cane. I have to make sure I have enough space to go through and for others to pass by me. I'm just
Yeah.
like it's just not the same. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I have music playing in my ears, but I still have to be alert of my surroundings, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just really not the same. Like I miss being behind the wheel and just driving away. I
Yep.
Something about it just really puts my mind at ease because I don't have to listen to no one.
Yep.
I don't have to hear no one's bullshit. All it
Yep.
is just me, the music, the open road, and I'm just like driving away.
I
Like,
know this might sound like far-fetched, slightly far-fetched, but have you thought about getting like a driving game that
yeah.
just and you get the rig and everything and you
Oh,
drive?
I wish I could. I just don't have space for it here.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, but that is something I really do want to get though. As a fucking racing
Yeah.
sim, I want to get one of those. Um,
I think that would be like a good alternative.
I think so too. Like, I believe it. Like, I've seen some rigs set up like that. I'm just like, okay, I could probably get this. I just have to make sure I have the space. Like, as you can see, this room is small as is. But
Yeah.
my brother and I were actually gonna be moving out of this apartment very soon. So
Okay.
having a racing sim will not be a bad idea for me to have because again, like I said, I really miss driving. So I do
Yeah.
play driving games like Forza or Car X. I'll play those games just to kind of feed my want for being out on the road. Although
Right.
it's not the same, but the fact that I can
Mhm.
control a car gives me
Yeah.
it gives it to me. So
I think they
Mhm.
have like VR ones that like
They do.
you can have a sit kind of cockpit area and then put on VR and it's connected to your computer and you could play whatever computer race game that has VR compatibility. And
Yup.
then
Yeah.
we have the whatever the Meta Quest or whatever, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
crazy because when you're doing VR, even though like I'm sitting in my office in my chair, if I'm in VR and the scene is like wind blowing past me, I swear I feel wind. Like it's
Yeah.
real kind of you. It's this whole mind over matter kind of thing where
Mhm.
you find yourself becoming like just feeling like you're actually in a place, like you're actually driving, right? Like imagine being in like a VR, right? And then you're looking to the right and looking to the left, and you're in the car and you're
Yup.
driving
Right.
the car. I mean, I feel like that would be pretty amazing, actually. I'm
Yup.
Yeah.
like, I need to do that.
You
Yeah.
know, okay. You know what I would do to add to that like the racing sim? Like what I would do?
Yeah.
I will put a little fan right in front of me.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will do that just to give me the feeling that I'm driving.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah,
Oh my god.
that'd be amazing.
Right. I miss driving in the music too. I really miss that so much myself. Like I'm right there with you. Like the con too. I was away from you. I absolutely got to drive. I feel that. I totally feel that. Like, oh, one thing about me too. Like, so before my stroke, I was supposed to go to TwitchCon 2022. It was in
Yeah.
I think it was in October, like mid to late October. My stroke
Mhm.
hit me at the beginning of October, so I missed out. And I told
Yeah.
myself when I was laying in the bed in the hospital, I was like, "Fuck, I should have been at TwitchCon right now."
Oh no.
Yeah. But I told myself, you know what? Recover because it will always be more.
Yeah.
No, it's not just
There's
that
always
one.
going
I
to be
mean,
another time.
exactly. Like honestly, like when that time comes, like I would love to go to I would love to go to TwitchCon just to meet the streamers I've met, along
Mhm.
my journey. Like that would be awesome to just meet people. Like nowadays, like I've become more energized going out. Like the
Yeah.
last party I went to, like my last family party I went to, I actually did pretty good. Like even my brother said I did good. Like I was there like the whole time actually, like talking to family, like that haven't seen me for a long time. It was just filling it in, like It was actually pretty chill because there wasn't so many people. It was a house party. Family was there, like family I have not seen in a long time. Like that was fine for me. Like that I can handle a small party. But if
Mhm.
it's let's say a wedding or a huge gathering, like I can't do that shit. I can't do
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Like like how do you guys feel about big gatherings now, especially after stroke? How do you guys feel about that now?
It is a
Oh,
little intimidating for sure because like I still go to cons and a whole bunch of stuff, but again, I usually go with somebody simply because when I go, I don't have really good balance anyways. Like I have balance, but it's not there, you know. So if somebody like smacks into me, I know it's an accident, but I can easily topple over if I'm not careful. So I usually like having people around me and making sure like there's a barrier for me because that helps me a lot.
that's really good. That's really good. What about you, Beck?
Yeah.
Um, I I used to love big, huge parties. I was the person that you'd be able to drop in the middle and I'd leave with 20, 30 new friends, right? Like I was like, life of the party type stuff.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Yep.
after my stroke, I just don't. It's kind of like the whole not really feeling like joy out of anything. Like I don't have the energy to deal anymore. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I barely have enough energy to like just coast through my normal day. It
Mhm.
takes
Yeah.
so much more energy to be around people or to be in a setting like that that I it's like I don't have expendable energy like I used to. You know what I mean? Like I have to conserve my
Yes.
energy to
Yep.
be able to just function
Mhm.
somewhat normal.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
so I don't really, I actually a friend of mine got married not long after my stroke, and I actually I did not do very good.
Damn.
Like it was very uncomfortable for me, and I was stressed out, and it was, and I mean, mind you, like it wasn't my wedding, but still, just being there with all the people, and they're people that I care about, and me
Yeah.
not being at 100%, and me having this anxiety and this, um, like, I don't know, it was overwhelming, and I felt bad because you know, I wasn't the person I was before my stroke, right? Like
Yeah.
when I showed up at their wedding, I was a different person and I
Yep.
acted differently and I had a hard time and that made
Yeah.
me feel bad because that was their special day, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And
I mean,
so
I
mhm,
get that, but you can't hold that
yeah.
completely against you.
Yeah, I know, I know. And then and I appreciate that. Um so yeah, I do what I can to not go to social gatherings really. I mean, I have a D&D group that we meet, every 2 or 3 weeks or whatnot. And I
Hmm.
remember it was like pulling teeth trying to get me to start, right? They're like, "We're gonna start this campaign. You should be here." And I remember the first few weeks, and it was after my stroke that they had started it.
Mhm.
And the first few weeks, I remember going there and I'm like, "You guys, like, just bear with me. My gut wants me to say no, I don't want to do this, but I know I want to."
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
inside my brain screaming like, no, 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 we don't need to do this. We don't want to do this. But I know that I would enjoy myself.
Right.
So, and they're super understanding and super cool, and we've had the same campaign obviously for like a year or two or whatever, and more than that actually. And they've been super supportive and great, and it's only a group of like 5 people, but even that was overwhelming for me. Just the thought
Yeah.
of having to get together with even that small of a group on a regular basis
Mhm.
was overwhelming. And at first, I very much would have a hard time, even during the campaign, like even during our sessions. At first, I they could tell that I was having a hard time, And then as I've gotten more comfortable with it, I've been able to kind of come out of my shell a little more and just feel more, I guess, at home there than I
Mhm.
used to.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So it's helped, but that's about all I can really do. I can't really do big things anymore. Not the way I used to, at least.
For your D&D sessions, were you in person or were you online?
In person.
Nice.
Yeah. That happened. I think it was like after COVID, because my stroke
Mhm.
was right before COVID hit. So it was January of
Okay.
2020, and I want to
Okay.
say we started doing D&D in like 2021, maybe 22, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. Um, but it was so like mentally the wound was fresh, right? And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had all this anxiety and all this like I still had a fear that I was going to have another stroke. So I had all these like these
Yeah.
things that were going on in my brain that was just overwhelming, and it wasn't really allowing me to like be in the moment. So
Mhm.
again, it's gotten better, but I still don't really care for big things.
I
Yeah.
totally feel that, bro. Like, I totally understand how you feel with that one, bro. That's how I felt too in the beginning. Like when the family parties was a big no for me, man. Like everyone's like, "Dude, why don't you come out? We all miss you. We all miss you. Come on, let's hang out.
Yep.
Let's have fun. Let's do it." And I'm like, "No, I
Yep.
can't. I really can't, everyone.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry to disappoint you, but my
Yep.
mindset, my body, my mind says no. I cannot do
Yep.
this.
Yep. I've
I
actually had. Oh, go
go
ahead. I'm
go no
sorry.
no no no. You go ahead.
No, I was just saying I've had friends call and be like, "Hey, I have a friend that moved out of town. He moved to Alabama, which is a whole nother thing.
Oh
But he
yeah,
moved
yeah.
to Alabama, and he basically was like, "Hey, I'm coming to town. Me and the boys need to get together. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this all over the weekend." And I called him, and I was like, "No, I'm not." I
Yeah.
was like, "You
I'm
all." I
not.
was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You all can, and please enjoy yourselves. And obviously, I would love to see you, but I can tell you right now that I am not coming." And this was like
Yeah.
weeks before he even showed up. But I was like, "I'm not gonna be there. Just again, he's the kind of person to be like, "Oh, come on, bro, like blah blah blah, like it'll be fine. We'll have fun." Like he, will kind of like be like, "It's okay. You could come out and try to sway me." But even he was just like, "Okay, I get it." Like he knew that I was like very serious because there are certain times, like you said, where my body's like, "No, you're not going to do that." In
Yep.
your
Right.
brain, it might sound fun, and you might in your brain you might want to do it, but as your body telling you, you're not going to do this.
Yep.
And that's
I
hard to
agree.
explain. Yeah, it's hard to
The worst
explain to
part.
people. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to explain to people like what that's like, like
Yeah.
where I'm just they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this," and I'll just like, "No, you're gonna do this. I'm not." Like my body's told me I'm not doing that. So
Right.
you have fun.
Right, right. It's like, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, the worst part for me is my body doesn't tell me what until I'm like halfway into it, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I can't do this."
Ah,
Oh
no.
man.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
that's
so
the
sorry,
worst.
I need to go sit down. So usually I tell somebody, I'm like, can't do this. I need to go sit down. I'm so sorry." And
Oh,
they're like, "Yeah, it's
Damn.
fine. We'll have a rest, and then we'll get back up and do it again." And then I could do it, but I hate being that one person that I'm like, "Bro, I need rest in this moment."
No, I totally
So
feel you on that. I totally feel you on that. Like, I um, I remember I was doing some. I think I was Oh, actually, this is during my birthday last year. We were at the lake. My sister hosted it for me and everything. Like everything
mhm.
was cool until for some reason, like towards like the middle of it, I was just like, all right, I need to break from you guys. I need to go away from it a little bit. So I started to walk. I started walking
Yeah,
maybe for like 20 minutes. I came back. I felt better. I was like, okay, cool. Let's hang out with the
yeah,
fam and just get this day over with. And yeah, like I feel you on that one, Wisdom. I feel like halfway you're just like, no, man, I can't do it. I totally feel where you're
yeah.
coming from on that one. Cause like it sucks because especially when you're trying, you're trying to get back, you're trying to get yourself back out there to enjoy, but your
Mhm.
body's just like, no, we can't do this right now. Maybe
Yeah,
later on, but now we have to stop. And it's just like it kind of kills the fun, but at the same time, you also have to be considerate for yourself and everyone
right.
else. Everyone else around you has to understand. And it
yeah.
really sucks when they don't understand.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
really sucks when they don't. Like,
You have to.
Well, that's
Oh, mhm.
nope. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that it makes makes you realize the phrase "listen to your body," right?
Yep.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it makes you. This whole thing has made me realize how true that is, and how
yeah,
you need to not just say you're listening, but you need to literally know what you're feeling and own it, rather than,
Mm-hmm.
and this goes to ADHD as well, like, the whole masking and trying to be whatever around whatever people. um
Yeah.
you know you need to listen to your body and kind of who you actually are and what you are, and I've learned a ton about that just since my stroke and this whole experience, really.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
I totally agree
The
with
nice
all of
thing
this.
with most of my friend group, we're all disabled in some way. So all of us completely understand each other very easily. So at like one moment, two of us could be getting very overstimulated, and we're just like, nope, no, we can't do this. So we're going off to like some corner so we can go just sit in the corner to rest while like the other group is going to have a little bit of fun, and then we just rejoin. Or somebody else needs to sit down because they need a rest, kind of
Yeah,
thing. So that kind of helps out for us. So
Good. Yeah.
that's really good though. That you have a group of friends who all understand each other. That's really cool to have. Like, I wish I had that
yeah.
because I don't. Like, out of all the friends I know and the people that know me, excuse me, I think I'm the only one
You're good.
who's disabled right now. I think
Well,
I'm the
my
only
friend
one.
group I found online, so
Yeah. Yeah, my friend, all of my friends, like my real life friends, like they all know I'm the only one, like the only one who's disabled and I can't do shit. So, like, like I said, going back to my best friend, she's really the only one who comes around to hang out with me. Like, especially when
yeah.
she comes by with her partner and daughter, like they'll come by, hang out with me, chill, talk with me, keep me company.
Yeah.
And of course, while they're here, I will cook for them. And they're like,
Hmm.
every time we come here, we love coming to your house because you cook for us. I'm just like,
Hmm.
well, I give you guys my cooking for your guys' company.
Friendship. Yeah.
And I think it's a
Yeah.
fair trade, and they also understand where I'm coming from, so they really try to keep
Yeah.
it low key for me. Like, they understand like where I'm coming from. Like, they know not to be so loud. They know not to
Hmm.
randomly scare me. They know
Yeah.
how long. They know how much time I have to actually hang out with them before I really get tired. They understand these things about me now. Like, before, we didn't give a fuck. We'll get high, we'll
Yeah.
go out, eat, watch movie, whatever. We'll have all the fun we want. But now they understand, especially now that we're older now. Like, we're not so like active as we used to in our younger years. Like, especially now, like, I'll be 41 this year. Like, I'm just like, I want to kick back and have fun, just relax. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want like I don't have to go out there just to get drunk and have fun. No, I can do the same shit here at home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yep.
it's really nice when you have people who understand you. I mean,
Hmm.
they don't necessarily have to be in your position, but because of what they've seen over the time, they'll know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
For me, it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Right now, we're at about 20 minutes left to the podcast.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh yeah, I think we're at hour 41 now. Yeah. Um, if anything, I say chat. This is for the chat now. Like, anyone in chat, like whether it be Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, do any of you have questions for any of us? Anything about anything that we've talked about, like from the energy to the leisure to traveling? Do anyone
Yeah.
have questions, like the stroke survivors in the group? Do you get like Lancet, Dancing, Sarah, uh, Kira? You guys having a question at all? Like anything at all that we've talked about? feel free to ask. Like, that's I think that's what we will do for like the last 20, 30 minutes of the podcast. We'll open up discussion to chat if they have any questions or whatever on
Yeah.
both sides, like my side, your side. Um, yeah, honestly, like it's always good to get feedback from people who listen, because especially like other stroke survivors, do they feel the same way that we do about certain things, or do they have a different outlook? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
trying to see like how other stroke survivors do things. Like what we're talking about right now. Like we all have different outlooks on things, but we somehow feel the same way. Like with energy level, especially energy level, like energy, our mindset, our bodies, like having to listen to what we feel, like oh my god, where the fuck was I going with this?
You're just asking if people have questions.
Okay, yeah. So,
Well, yeah.
That's great.
What about, so I mean, even if they're questions that don't have to do with like what we've
Yeah,
talked
that's fine.
about, like because I have a
Yeah.
question.
yeah, of course.
Well, so as someone who misses driving, right, and you want to, you kind of, once you get your mobility back, you're going to do that. My question is, what's your dream car? Like what car?
yeah,
what
that is a
car
good
is that?
question.
Yeah, what car is that dream car that you're going to get? That way, when you're out cruising, you're in your dream car. What is that? What's that look like?
Oh man.
I put you on the spot.
Okay, well here's one thing. Okay, so I've already owned one of my dream cars before, and that
Ooh,
was the
okay.
Lancer. That was the Lancer Evolution 9.
Ooh,
That shit was
okay.
fucking fun, man, dog.
Yeah.
I
That's
went
great.
fast. I went fast. I won hella races. I dumped hella money into that car. Dude, this was all in my 20s. I was a racer back then. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, fuck, I missed the car scene. So
Yeah.
what I'm
Yep.
thinking, I really want to drive stick shift again, but I don't think I will. So with that being
Yeah.
said, I would probably get like either a Lexus or
Lexus is nice.
yeah,
Mhm.
either like a IS 350 or a GS or any one of the different trims. I'll get a Lexus and
Yeah.
make it look good, make it look nice. Like put some
Of course.
rims, give it a nice little drop, maybe like some carbon fiber. So stuff to make it look nice, because
Yeah.
I don't want to go fast anymore. I just want to cruise and look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, like I definitely feel like I would do that. Like get an automatic car, but a good looking
Mhm.
one, and make
Yep.
it look, and just put my own test into it, like nice rims, give it a nice little
Mhm.
drop, change the headlights, do stuff like that, cosmetics pretty much. Because
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't,
that
I
makes sense.
don't, yeah, like, I don't want to go fast anymore. I've already done that in my 20s. I don't have to
Yeah.
do that now because I've already experienced it.
Mhm.
Nowadays, like I just
Mhm.
want to cruise and chill. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
Hell yeah.
Right.
So I think
So-
I'll probably give myself maybe, I would say 5 years. I'll say 5 years. Give myself 5 years to regain at least up to 85% if I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
That works. Yeah.
Yep.
So Sra has a question. She says, have you all had any neurospicy realizations after stroke that you didn't notice before?
Okay. Before I continue, I've heard neurospicy so many times. I don't know
So
what that
I'm
is.
neurospicy. I'm neurospicy. So like ADHD, but I'm autistic with ADHD. But basically, if you had overwhelming moments, if you've had a moment in which you're like, yeah, this absolutely bothers me, but I didn't realize this bothers me until now, after my stroke, or other stuff that didn't used to bother you, but now bothers you, kind of thing.
Huh. That's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
Alright. Shit. Now that I'm thinking about it, let's see. Um. Okay. Here's one thing that bothers the fuck out of me still. Even up to now, even though I've gotten the technique down, descending down, going down, I still have that. I don't like it, but I have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have
Like
a
go.
fear that you're gonna fall or you're gonna
Yeah.
slip?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes. 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 That's my biggest one. Is my like height. Height.
Okay.
Any kind of height now. Like before, I was fine with it, but now, like if I look down, I'm just like, oh fuck no, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Um
okay.
my difference is the fact that I could watch horror films, but I would be extremely bothered by them. So I would have to watch them like during the day so that I can get them out of my system before going to bed. After having my stroke, horror films don't bother me anymore
Really?
at all. Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
I have
You-
no problem with it. I could just watch it, and of course, like I'll have jump scares or something like that, but it doesn't scare me anymore. Like I can just watch one. Like a really good example of one that Holland, my partner, just brought up today was "Talk to Me," and I remember watching that one. And I know before
Oh.
my stroke, that would have bothered me really badly, but now that it's after my stroke, I was like, dude, that was a great movie. It's just
I
yeah,
oh.
yeah.
I remember that movie. I had to be hyped for that movie.
Yeah,
That shit scared the fuck out of me in the theater.
yeah. I didn't even see it in theaters, which makes me like so sad because I didn't go see it in theaters. But then I watched it at home and I was like, bro, I missed this film in theaters. How did I miss this? But yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god. What about you, Vivek?
So, well, since my stroke, I've had a huge revelation about being neurospicy, and you know, there were situations where, like, there were awkward interactions that I've had with people in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been like, oh, they must be neurospicy. I never realized that I was the neurospicy one. So, so I was the one that kind of created that awkwardness, which that's been eye opening, but also kind of powerful because it's helped me understand myself better and
Yeah.
almost know how to not necessarily combat it, but know what to look out for now.
Yeah.
That way I
Right.
don't get myself in trouble or put my foot in my mouth or do anything embarrassing. But but as far as like changes, I'd say just being in big groups,
Mm-hmm.
like when I went to that wedding, like before
Yeah.
I would have thrived. I would have been like have best time of my life, blah blah. And then after my stroke, that was not really gonna happen.
It's not the business, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel
So,
it, bro.
Yeah, so I don't like my whole world changed after my stroke as far as being neurospicy.
Yeah.
I totally feel that though, man. Like, I believe that any stroke survivor's life has been flipped upside down. Every one of us, for sure. For
Yeah.
damn sure, man. Like, it's rough having to deal with it, but we have to. We have to deal with it, man. Because if we don't, deal with it, how do we expect to get better? You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Apologies. I don't mean to interrupt.
No.
You're good.
One thing too is after my I had my stroke, and then COVID happened, and I was working from home, and I was working for an ad agency in San Francisco. And then once they started having people come back to work,
Mhm.
I used to take what we call BART. It's kind of like our subway. It's kind of our Bay Area Rapid Transit is what it is.
Yup.
And I used
Yeah.
to take BART each way, and it would take me an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half to get to work and back every day between BART and walking to my office.
Yeah.
And and then after my stroke, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't be on BART. It's not that I can stand on BART. I can sit on BART. I could physically take BART, but my brain and my body were like, no, you can't. Like
You
Right.
were
we're not
disconnected
like
whenever you were
we're yeah.
moving. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
we're not doing Bart anymore. So I left my job, you know, and toward the end of it, I was finding myself I have I find myself getting more flustered easier, I guess would
Yeah.
be a good way to put it.
Hmm.
And it's a little too easy for me to lash out in the sense that like I get overwhelmed. I'm like, oh God, just stop it, you know, like
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you end up, um, like it just it was weighing on my career because I
Yeah.
wasn't able to deal with the stress that I was dealing with before, and it was a stressful job. Ad agencies aren't for the light of heart.
Oh no, I
They're
believe
Yeah.
that.
like it's a very dog eat dog world, and I couldn't I'm after my stroke I wasn't built for that anymore.
Yeah.
So that a lot of stuff kind of came to a head, and I started understanding more about myself and what I was before and now what I am now, as far as like being neurospicy and just kind of what I can and can't handle.
Mm.
So,
Right.
everything changed, as it does with all of us. Everything changed.
Yeah, big
Well, I
time, big
know,
time.
like, the biggest thing too is like getting overwhelmed and reacting to it. Um, I've had to learn to like center myself before just reacting completely. And it's funny, and I'm so thankful my friends are like super patient with me. But being out in Vegas, and I remember being in Omega Mart, which is
Oh
sensory
yes.
overload
Yep.
basically, and I loved it. But there was like two moments when I was in there that like I really ended up snapping at one of my friends. And thankfully, my friend was like, I completely understand why you did. Like, it's understandable. This is probably why you did it. And I'm sitting there going, why did I do it though? Like, why was that the first response to give to you? And so I had to work with myself being in there, like having a response. And I had to, like, literally stop myself from reacting very quickly to somebody.
Yep.
And it
Mhm.
was it was interesting, like realizing certain things about myself in the moment. And I was like, oh wow, yeah, I shouldn't do that. So like having to learn something very quickly where I was like, yeah, don't do that. Put your hands in your pockets. Don't
Right,
do
right.
that.
Yeah, I learned
So,
the hard
but
way.
yeah.
That's the worst that can happen. Like I feel the same way. Like in the beginning, I remember there was one time I snapped at my brother,
Hmm.
and I think it was because I forgot what it was, but I told him straight up, like I lashed out. I was like, I'm not happy. I don't want to be here right now. Like
Yeah.
the way you're treating me, I don't deserve it. Like why are you doing this to me? Like I snapped and I
Yeah.
cried. I cried. Actually, no, this is well. I was actually streaming at the time. Like my brother
Okay.
came in and asked me a question. I automatically broke down and started crying because like so I forgot what the fuck he said, but I cried. I ended the stream. I got a message from someone saying like, "Hey, why just end stream?" Like, something happened.
Yeah.
I had to stop. So I lashed out at my brother. He looked at me. And he just stayed quiet the whole time, listening to me talk and be mad because of what he said.
Yeah.
And after that, like, I think this is maybe about, I think back in 2023, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Hmm.
And since then, like, I have not snapped like that ever since. Ever since that, no more. Like, I understand how to control my feelings, control my
Yeah.
thoughts. Like, I'll
Hmm.
have to learn this because, like, I can't be snapping at people like that ever. 'Cause they don't deserve it,
Right.
especially my brother. Like my brother's the one who took me in and cared for me in the beginning. He doesn't deserve that. So
Yeah.
I had to learn how to control my anger. And that was something that I was really good with doing before my stroke. But after that,
Right.
like after that snap, I was like, yo, we gotta step back, man. We can't do this, bro. We have to respect everyone. Like, you can't be doing that shit, man. No.
Well, emotions get really high too.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's
big
what I was
time.
saying a little bit earlier. Like, you do have to feel those feelings. Like, absolutely in that moment, if you're anger, feel the anger, but don't lash out and
Yep,
understand why you feel the anger.
yep.
Because there was actually like 2 weeks ago in which I was streaming, and I got to the first part of Claire Obscure, Expedition
Yeah,
33.
yeah, yeah.
And I remember having a trigger moment and not realizing that it would be a trigger. Like, I thought I was fine with the triggers, and I melted down on stream. And I literally had to like go on a break for a
Yeah.
moment to just understand what was happening, because I was just like, oh my god, I just went into a sudden trigger. And I had to take like a couple of minutes to get myself back together and then figure out what triggered me, what
Yeah.
just happened. And you guys have to like look at the storyline, but it was pretty interesting how quickly like you realize what your triggers are. And I mean, I even said in a podcast before in which like triggers are going to come out of nowhere.
Yep. I
And you
remember.
just have to have people around you that are patient with you and understand everything that you're going through. So like, if you do have that trigger moment in which like you suddenly are very angry with them, or you suddenly have like a meltdown moment, like, they have to be patient enough for you to feel the feeling and then express it to
Yep.
them, to say like, listen, this is what just happened to me, I'm so sorry. um like, we'll get through this, kind of thing. But yeah, it's tough.
Yep. It really, really is. All right. Well, we're at the 2 hour mark now. So, um, any last uh remarks? Any last minute comments you guys want to get out? Chat. Same thing with you guys. Any last comments you guys want to get down before we end?
Again, I just want to say thanks for doing this. It's been great being a part of the the group Second Chance Warriors, and
Yeah.
having a connection to people that understand, that
Hmm.
I understand and that they understand me more than most people. So I'm just grateful for you all. That's all.
I agree, man. I really, really agree, bro. Like, I'm happy I got to meet other people who are also like me, like who's had a stroke and going through the same motion. Like, I'm very
Yeah.
proud. I'm very proud to be a part of this community, and for
Yep.
me to actually start this, like, I think it's a really great way for others to really, really hear us out. Because
Yeah.
again, as a streamer, everyone knows this. Streamers do games, talking, art, food,
Hmm.
all that stuff, but no one really talks about stroke. So that's
Hmm.
why I thought to myself, let's do this.
Hmm.
Bring my God, what was that? Bring oh my God, bring awareness to people. Bring awareness
Yeah.
to a stream, let people know, yo, this is, you know, here, listen to our story, and I hope you can learn from it. It's just
Yeah.
like, I
Hmm.
just feel
Well,
like,
even then,
go
like, if
ahead.
they haven't gone through a stroke or understand a stroke, it's more of like maybe a bit of this that they'll understand, like ADHD, autistic with ADHD,
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
overstimulation,
exactly.
like all of that. Like, if they can get something out of like these podcasts, like, it's great.
Yep, I
Absolutely.
totally agree with that. I highly agree with that.
Yeah.
But all right, everyone.
Well,
Well, oh,
the
yeah, go
the other
ahead.
good part is like, we're always open. So that's the
Yes,
biggest thing. We're open
yes,
about everything. So if you ask us a question, we will tell it to you.
yep, exactly.
Yep.
It's like, we got nothing to hide, you know.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of lying about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? Um,
Exactly.
yeah. But everyone, so this is the end of the podcast. Everyone who tuned in, yo, thank you so much for listening in on us from Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Yep.
Avec, thank you so much for coming back to be our guest speaker. And
Oh,
of
thank you.
course, And of course, Wisdom being my co-host, like having you here, like has been such a big help because there will be times in my head I'm just like I don't know what to say, and when you say something, Wisdom, I'll kind of feed off of that. So
Yeah.
you have been such a big help being a part of this podcast. I really thank you so much, and everything you've done so far, like getting the banner, getting the edited videos for me to post. Like, thank you so much for all of that. Like, it's such a big help. Like, I figured me doing this by myself would be hard, but again, I really appreciate your help for all of this. So thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Always happy to help.
Thank you. So yeah, everyone. This is the end. Again, Avec, Wisdom, thank you so much for your time for this podcast. And I definitely do look forward to more of all of this. Like, I would love to hear more stories and share more of all of this, everything with everyone else. That would be really cool to hear more.
Absolutely. Thanks
absolutely.
again for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your Sunday or what's left of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys next time.
All right.
Yeah,
Later,
absolutely.
everyone.
Cool.
See you guys
Bye.
later. All right. So that was the podcast part of the stream. So hold on, give me 1 second. Activate. There you go. Okay, so right now we're actually going to go ahead and take a break, and I'll come back to talk more with you guys. So for now, go ahead and take a break, stretch out, use the restroom, get something to munch on, something to drink, and we'll be right back.